This is the inside of my 1985 Nissan Maxima. I think the best way to start it is this right here.
Key is in the ignition.
My little girlfriend that's always told me my key was in my ignition. As you can see, volts are good. Turn radio down. Temperature gauge is rock solid. Oil pressure is good. Watch this little trick right here. Rev it up, does what it should. You can switch this to kilometers if you get all excited. This Maxima's been a good car for me. Okay. Here's the inside of it. This car was repainted. The paint job is not a $4,000 paint job, but it was the best I could afford, and I think it looks pretty darn nice. It did have a little nudge where somebody belted me in a parking lot. Left. Nice. Window tinting on it was very expensive. It was not cheap job. The back window cost me over $100 alone because of that little angle right there. They couldn't get it right. Had to take it to a special shop just for that. All the lights work. All the windows work. Apparently the door locks work. Interior is in really, really nice shape, although it is leather. I've tried to keep it soft, but these Nissans, the leather can get hard. As you can see, it's still pliable, but it is a little stiff. The only rip was there when I got it, is right there, and there's another one starting over there, but I put in the tinted windows to stop all that. The back seat pulls down so you can get into the trunk, which is cool. I put a new trunk switch on. Didn't last very long. It's a little loose, but I stuck it in. It still works. There's the pop. It's got a spare digital dash in there. I figured in case the digital dash ever went bad, it might be hard to find one, so I put one. Found one on eBay and bought it. Chitlin's mag, and that bad boy right there, which I picked up. Now that right there was my dream car, and I couldn't afford one new, but I bought one when I could. Antenna mast has been replaced. The original radio and equalizer is all in there. I put a newer Maxima symbol on it after I had the paint job put on. The air, you can only hear it. We don't quite got feel-o-vision yet, but it's ice cold. Heat works good. Kenwood goes with it. Sunroof is nice and clear. Sunroof doesn't work. That's a recent thing that just happened, and headliner's not in any trouble. But I never use a sunroof, so I didn't worry too much about it. As you can see, the miles on it, 176,246. And let me turn this off and get the engine compartment. Okay, there is, by the way, one little ding that I've got. Someone leaned up against it in the parking lot again. Tires are all new, less than 6,000 miles on them. Engine is not super duper clean. I don't detail engines, but as you can see, she runs like a top. That cost me $500 to rebuild the vacuum reservoir, and that was so that the air would blow cold. There's another tire, and again another tire. Notice here, that's loose. I could easily fix that, but I didn't do it because I don't want this car doctored up. There is some rust around the fender wells. That's really common. And there again. Now we're gonna take the car for a little ride so that you know everything works. Turn off the air, turn off the musica. That's reverse. Backing up in my yard. This car will have a little hesitation situation when it first starts up. I don't know what it is. I hope these things don't have chokes. I've had it into a mechanic a couple times, and to make a long story short, he couldn't find it. Then I went into another one. I just keep the RPMs up for the first minute of when I start the car, and everything's fine. I've had all new shocks put on this car. I've had all new struts put on this car. And as you can see, the digital dash reads as you should. This car is no pile of junk. I am only getting rid of it, as the listing says, because I'm losing my job. And I just don't want to have too many cars. All right, that should be enough information for you. I hope it gave you what you needed. No crazy noises, no grinding, no weird shuddering. Up to speed, it'll go 75 miles per hour all day long, and much faster. I've had it much faster. And down here you have the suspension on and off and the sound on and off. All right, that concludes. I better show that. Trip computer does work. Tells you how many miles you got till empty and all of that sort of thing. All right, with that concludes my portion of this video. Back off.